Ani, my name's Sarah Jackson. I'm here from Wet'suwet'en Territory in beautiful Smithers, British Columbia, and I'm really happy to be a part of this project. I'm a legal researcher. I trained at the Indigenous Law Research Unit based out of the University of Victoria after I finished my law degree, and I learned how to work with stories to draw out the law alongside community members. And it feeds into laws like Koognaasewin.
Mm-hmm. So what do you hope to see your work contribute to the Koognaasewin law?
I feel like mostly my job is to listen and to kind of borrow the words of community members, of the people who know the best what's going on with the child welfare system today, and how they have forever and continue today to take care of their children when things go wrong and when things go right too. I think my job is to listen and to learn and to put that on paper so that it can be used by the people who are reimagining the law to create something that works better and that reflects these ways, these Koognaasewin. Or ways of raising up children from birth to independence, as Emma Miyawasaki says.
Yeah, awesome. So what have you learned throughout your research work so far?
Do you mean in this territory?
Yeah, or even just any of your findings through all of your, story findings, or any archival research you've found with your team, or any traditions or teachings?
I feel like I learned so much. I learned so much from the people that we talked to. It's something that makes me reflect on like how I don't have kids yet. I have a puppy, but one day I hope to have kids, and it makes me think about how to raise them in a better way, how to raise them without the violence that I think so many of us were raised with, mm-hmm. and how to do that better. And it also makes me like think a lot about my responsibility as a community member and how we need to look after each other. We need to look after one another's children. And like, really, I think like as a Koognaasewin researcher, did I say that right? A big part of our job is to learn. And I think a big part of what white people need to do is to learn from Indigenous people, because there's a lot of like strength and knowledge there and ways to like live life in a better way. Mm-hmm. That's not destroying the environment, and that's not destroying our relationships with one another. And I think Anishnaabe people have done that for millennia and learned in hard ways too. Like that's what we learn when we look at the stories, is that there's all these processes of destruction and creation and rebuilding our worlds again. Mm-hmm. And I think that I like to hope that this project is part of one of those processes of rebuilding, and that it can be a positive thing, and that it can help have more children grow up in homes where they're loved and where they're looked after in the ways that they need to be to find their own purpose in life, to be good parents, to be good leaders.
Mm-hmm. That's a good answer. So what is your hope for Koognaasewin as a whole? How do you think this will make a positive change in the communities?
I hope it's not just another project that goes the wrong way, to be honest. I think that there's a lot of fear about that, and there's a lot of, in the communities, people have seen a lot of things come and go, and it hasn't always changed the realities of their lives. But I think we have a real possibility to, as Roger Jones says, create legal space here, mm-hmm. create the space that's needed for people in the North Shore communities to bring forward what they know and what they've always done, and to have the space to do that while being supported by the institutions, by the leadership that they need to support them.
Mm-hmm. What does child well-being mean to you?
I think it means kids who are happy and know they're loved and can find their gifts in their own way. And I think within an Anishinaabe context, it has a lot to do with kids having access to their culture, access to their language, access to learn to their families and communities. Because I think when that happens, then, anything is possible, right?
Mm-hmm. And how do you see yourself moving forward? What do you take away from your visit here in the North Shore?
I think too much to say. You know,
Mhm.
like I'll be thinking about this. I'm going to go back home and I'm going to be writing. I'll be sitting at my desk. And like I have this thing now and I'm really lucky to do the job I do because I get to listen to so many elders and their words come in my head sometimes, you know, as you're moving about your life. And I think that's how oral traditions work, from my understanding, is like, you just like hear the words in your head. And I think that's one of the reasons I feel so privileged to do my job, is like, I think it helps me to be a better person and live in a better way. And that's selfish, but I like to hope that has good impacts, that it's all like ripples, you know?
Mhm.
And like all of those teachings, like they need to be accessible. They need, you know, we need to have that space to learn, like everyone, I think.
Mhm.
Did that make sense?
Yeah, for sure. Is there anything else you want to add, or anything you think you'd like to say about your work or the Koognaasewin project?
I guess just miigwech for the opportunity to learn. I'm really grateful to be here. I'm really grateful for our awesome team and, you know, the good kind of hearts and the patience and that people bring to this kind of work.